We set up the Entourage initially because we kept getting feedback from entrepreneurs all across the country that there was nowhere to go to get real business education delivered by entrepreneurs who'd been there, done that experience. So today the Entourage exists to deliver education and to deliver a networking platform to connect Australia's best entrepreneurs with Australia's next entrepreneurs. The biggest challenges in business, the first one has to be learning to focus. I think a very common error that particularly early stage entrepreneurs come up against is, we're so optimistic, we're so bullish, we want to do everything and we think we can. And the only time that entrepreneurs start to focus is when they feel the pain for years and years and years and years and years of not focusing. So number one, I think, is to focus. The second challenge, I think, in business is about being consistent. I think it's really important that entrepreneurs, view themselves almost as business athletes. You need to be healthy, you need to be happy, you need to be fit, you need to be mentally stimulated, and you need to be that sort of stuff on a consistent basis. And again, that's something that comes with years and a lot of mental training. Often people ask, if you had your time over again, what would you do differently? And upon reflection, I think the answer is nothing. I think I would do nothing differently. I've had many businesses fail. I've had a couple of businesses succeed. I've been fortunate enough to be surrounded by great people throughout my entire journey. And even for the first 3 or 4 years of business where you're not succeeding and you're going backwards and you're spending money that you don't have and you're working harder than everybody else and not getting anywhere seemingly, I think that those are the moments that build the characteristics and the resilience in a business person required to go on and do something great. So even though there have been a few challenges and a few setbacks, I don't know if I'd do anything differently. Yeah, it's super important that any business of any stage tests their idea very quickly online and learns what they're doing right and, more importantly, what they're not doing right. Online should be a place where you experiment. And it's somewhere where we can experiment very cheaply, very quickly, very leanly. So in order to validate an idea, we should be launching a website which costs next to nothing. We should be A/B testing with different Google ads and Facebook groups and the like. And doing all of these sorts of things which either cost nothing or cost next to nothing to get idea validation and get market traction. Once we have that, then start investing in scaling the idea. A question I often get asked is, at what point do you give up? And I think it's a really good question because we see it on both ends of the scale. We see some entrepreneurs that give up too soon, and we see some entrepreneurs that go on for too long on an idea that perhaps they should have been given away a while ago. I think that an entrepreneur should firstly surround themselves with people who've been there, done that experience in a particular field, and that person will be able to guide them and direct them as to how to get market traction, how to achieve idea validation, and that's going to play some bearing on whether you've really given this your best shot. The second thing is, have you been teeing up partnerships? Have you been out marketing? Have you been out selling? I think as an early stage entrepreneur, you need to spend 80% of your time on sales and marketing, revenue generating activities. Statistics show that only 11% of an average small business owner's time is spent on sales and marketing activities. So often an entrepreneur might have been in business for 3 or 4 years and not gotten the traction required, but they've only been spending 11 or 15% of their time on sales and marketing activities. So there just needs to be an adjustment in strategy and adjustment in priorities to give that business a real chance. And I think in order to do that, you need to be speaking with and bouncing ideas off people who've been there, done that experience that can tell you whether you've done the right things in order to get traction and achieve scale in this particular business. My top 3 time management tips are ones that I love to share because I think time management is so critically important for entrepreneurs. Number 1 is focus. It is the number 1 thing that I believe holds early stage businesses back is a lack of focus. We want to chase everything and we want to do it yesterday and we think we can and we can't. The less you do, the more you'll do. The less you do, the more money you'll make. Because the less you do in terms of breadth, the more you can do in terms of depth and servicing your people that need the most attention, your VIP clients or customers or whatever it might be. The second thing is to bunch things together. So I think that, as any business owner has 101 things to do. Now, there might be 101 things to do, but they might fall into 10 categories. Now, if we can just have a day on product creation, and then another day on marketing, and then another day on sales, and then another day on people, and we can, or even 60-minute blocks, whatever it is. But if we can bunch together tasks, it helps us get fluid in those particular tasks and we get more done. And the third thing is, And the third thing is to delegate. You know, I think that as business owners, we often think that we can do it better than anybody else, and sometimes that might be true, but I live by the rule that if somebody else can do it 70% as well as I think I can, then I give them the power to do it. And delegation is one of those amazing things that the more you do it, the more you become comfortable with it, the more you get addicted to it, because you realise that actually empowers you to go out and work on higher value things.